Okay. Let's talk about the strategy for a second. So the strategy is when you get in the beginning phase, okay, what you need to do and really focus on, okay, there's two things that if you focused on these two things in the beginning phase, okay, you're going to make it out. Okay. And that's learning to build self-discipline. Okay. It's not saying have it. It's not saying either you have it or you don't. You learn to build it. Okay. So in the beginning phase, when you're first starting your transformation journey, focus on building self-discipline. Okay. Don't make it right or wrong. Okay. Don't make it, oh, I have it or I don't have it, or I did it or I didn't do it. Okay. Focus on building, focus on progress, not perfection. Okay. So build your self-discipline. Okay. And have grace. Have grace on yourself. Be forgiving to yourself. Be understanding to your circumstances. Know that you're just starting out. You don't have these skills yet. You haven't developed this stuff yet. Okay. I know you think you should have it, but whether you think you should or whether you think you shouldn't have it or whatnot, the fact is you don't have these skills yet. So be forgiving and understanding to yourself. Okay. If you had a child and your child was first learning how to play basketball and they were learning how to dribble, okay, you're not going to berate them. You're not going to make them feel like the worst kid on the planet when they can't dribble after 5 minutes of practicing. Or if they're 5 years old and it's the first year that they learn to play basketball, you're not going to berate them because they can't shoot a three-pointer, right? You have grace on your child. You're like, hey, it's okay. You're going to get better. You're only 5 years old. You'll learn how to play. Okay. You'll learn how to dribble. You'll learn how to do these things. Okay. You don't even know how to spell your name yet, but you'll learn how to play basketball. Right. So like you have grace on them. Well, truthfully, you are almost like a child in the sense of making your transformation if you've never made it. You have to be okay that you're going to be raw. Okay. It's going to be a struggle. It's going to be hard. You're going to have things that come up. You may have kids. You may have real life things that happened. It's all okay. But learn to build self-discipline and learn to have grace on yourself. And if you can just continue to do that in that first phase, okay, you will be able to get out of that first phase and go into the second phase. Okay. I told this story the other day that somebody asked me the other day, is, hey, Aaron, how long do your clients normally last with you? And I said, well, they either last less than 30 days or they last a full year. They're like, what? Like, that doesn't make sense. Yeah, it doesn't make sense. But it's because most people can never get out of the beginning phase because they're too hard on themselves. Have that too much of a perfectionist mindset. And they beat themselves up to a pulp saying, oh, I should be better than this. And they never, ever develop self-discipline. They never learn to build it. Okay. And they don't practice any grace on themselves. So they never get out of that first phase. Okay. So if you can do those two things, you'll get out of that first phase and you'll go into the second phase of the middle phase, right? Now, you still have to have determination. You still have to have trust. Okay. You still have to be a little bit resilient, but really building self-discipline and having grace are the two things that you need in that beginning phase. Okay.